can't be hypnotized or properly conditioned for.
Pro tip for being nervous and anxious about a demonstration. I often get nervous and anxious about demonstrations.
I
I
don't
got
believe
nervous
that.
and anxious mid-casino show because I was like, what if no one reacts? I was told it might be a hard group to get. So what do? I don't stop or hesitate or take longer. I talk the same, if not faster, but I start to improv an intricate script for efficiency. And by that, I mean, I want to say when you wake up on the count of three, you're going to be fully stuck. Where do you think my script for you're going to feel like a 1,000-pound army tank came from?
I don't believe that, but okay.
Ah,
I
here's
really
the
don't.
thing. Why? And I love this. So you don't believe I get nervous on stage. This almost seems like a good lesson. Why don't you think I get nervous on stage?
Because you have that creative ability. You get on stage, okay, here I am, it's showtime, and you just walk through things. Yeah, something doesn't work. Then you, like you said, you pivot on something, and it's just like you just keep going. So I don't see it, the nervousness or whatever. That's why I say it's bullshit, but okay, we can go with that. Okay.
So here's the crazy thing, because again, I literally just had a YouTube comment saying, what happens if you don't feel it? In fact, I want to go to YouTube right now. Let's see if we can pull this up right now, because I think this is serendipitously an amazing moment that you have this kind of question. So by Magic Wolfpack 12 on YouTube, let me share this with you. And they literally asked, this was during the I hypnotized a girl and shock induction type thing. She said, or they said, stage and street shows look tons of fun. Is there any easy way to appear confident even if you don't fully feel it? I'm going to kind of reiterate what I said a little bit ago. I was once told to pretend like I had done it hundreds of times before and speak with conviction like I knew it would work, just as I knew the sun would rise tomorrow because it always does. Interestingly enough, this psychologically helps put you in the proper headspace to rock a routine as if you're playing a persona. Hollywood calls it method acting. And they said, interesting, I'll have to try that out. So the thing is, I still get anxious, I still get nervous. The difference is when I'm hypnotist John Ways and I'm doing the hypnosis, that I have a certain persona to uphold. And the irony is I've spoken to a lot of hypnotists behind the scenes, and a lot of them say you have to have some level of ego when you're doing this, because people perceive us like mind control experts. We both know that's not how this works. We can't just go up to sleep and listen to my commands. Give me all the money. You are my girlfriend, or you're my boyfriend, or we can't just do that stuff. That's not how this works. But because of Hollywood, that's how people perceive it. So the irony is, even though that's not how it works, we still have almost like the subconscious expectation to hold ourselves to. And in that sense, for me specifically, how do I do things? So for example, the casino show, when I hypnotized the casino recently in Minnesota, I wasn't sure how many, if any, volunteers would end up on stage. So I would kind of tweak my dialogue to become more descriptive. So instead of just saying, you're gonna laugh because you can't get up. And sometimes I will do that. If I'm just feeling it, if I'm feeling the energy, feeling the moment, you'll notice, and here's my tell, I will speak less, but it'll be just as effective. And it's kind of like magic, and it's kind of like what I've taught you from day one in HypnoKick University. It's like how I teach magicians. Kiss. Keep it simple, stupid. However, sometimes we get nervous and anxious. So when I go from a script such as, in a second on the count of three and snap my fingers, when you wake up, you're gonna laugh because you realize you're completely stuck. And the more you try and stick yourself, the more stuck you become. Two, and here's the sign that I'm a little bit unsure if it's gonna happen. In a moment on the count of three and snap my fingers, you're gonna wake up And you're going to find the more you try to unstick yourself, the more stuck you become. It's almost as if you feel as heavy as an army tank. And no matter how hard you try to unstick yourself, the more stuck you become. You are so incredibly heavy, almost like you're paralyzed with relaxation. It feels so much better to just give in and let go than to try to fight this and get up. So my version of anxiety and stress in the moment is just to talk more, but not just blabber on. I tweak in the moment the script, and I think creatively in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, what do I do to make this more effective? What can I do to hopefully guarantee that we will have a higher success rate with this, with either this one person or these group of people that we're working with? Because the truth is, we don't know. And I think that's another interesting thing is when we go to these when we go to these events, people know that they don't know us. People know we're not bribing them. They would see us like, yeah, here's $20, act on stage later, volunteer or something like that. And yet people on YouTube are like, fake actors. And it's just like, I roll whatever. Clearly you don't study any of this. Because if I was bribing people, I wouldn't have a need to feel anxious or stressed because they would just do what I told them to do because we had a previous agreement or I was
Right.
bribing them.
Right.
But because that's not the case, anxiety and stress is a normal, I think, human reaction. And as a result, as a pro tip to you, I just talk more intricately with the routine in mind. And again, by that I mean, I more intricately describe how I want them to think and feel when I do X. So you're going to feel stuck the more you try and stick yourself, the more stuck you become. If I'm feeling confident, if I'm not, you're going to feel stuck the more you try to stick yourself, the more stuck you become, almost as if you are as heavy as an army tank. A small percentage of you are going to find it incredibly physically difficult to move. Right now, you can imagine what it would be like if your body was becoming heavier and heavier and heavier, almost like you weigh as much as an army tank.